All right, ladies and gentlemen, not too long ago, the 23rd Annual Screen Actors Guild Awards wrapped up, and we had a couple of interesting picks here and there that went against the grain for what I was picking. Uh, I did end up with 4 out of 6 correct, so that's not a bad haul overall. Yeah, could have been worse, but anyways, here's kind of the rundown here. Outstanding performance by stunt ensemble. We knew that was going to be Hacksaw Ridge. That was, yeah, an easy pick there. Supporting actress we knew was Viola Davis, and yeah, she got up there and nobody was surprised. Mahershala Ali won for Moonlight. I did have him picked, but man, that was just a crowded field there. Um, and his win here is definitely a good sign that he could maybe win everything else. He could win at BAFTA and the Oscar. And then Emma Stone won for La La Land. I think this is almost this is in the same order they were presented as well. Yeah, and yeah, I think this definitely helps Emma. I mean, if Natalie had won here, that would have been a sign that yeah, she's still alive and well in this race. But with Emma clenching that Golden Globe and now the SAG, that's a good sign that she's on her way to the Oscar. The BAFTA will be kind of telling though. That's one where if Natalie does win, it might be too little, too late. And if Emma wins, then we definitely know she's got the Oscar in hand. Where I messed up, though, was on Best Actor and then Best Performance by a Cast in a Motion Picture. So Best Actor ended up going to Denzel Washington for Fences. Oh, boy. Here we go. Yeah, we are... now this Best Actor race is definitely in a new field here. So this and with Casey Affleck losing for Manchester by the Sea and Hidden Figures winning that big award for Outstanding Cast, that means the most nominated film of the night, Manchester, went home empty-handed. What do you know? And let's see, that means Fences won 2 out of its 3 races. Hidden Figures, yeah, only had 2 with Octavia. Moonlight only won 1 out of 3, and nothing for Captain Fantastic, but we could have predicted that. Anyway, so yeah, that means they just really liked Fences, evidently. And then another thing, too, to keep in mind, and I think I did mention this, Denzel had, up to this point, never won a Screen Actors Guild Award. So since he won, now he's got one on his mantle. So here's the thing. This means one of 2 things. It means, number one, that means this whole race is about to be flipped around and Denzel's going to get that Oscar. We saw this happen a couple of years ago with Eddie Redmayne. Very unexpected win for him here a couple of years ago over Michael Keaton, who had just won the Globe, gave an empowering speech and a really emotional speech. All of a sudden, we're like, if we got to compare the two, I mean, he's got that Oscar in the bag now, and plus, he's playing an actor at SAG, and Birdman ended up winning the Best Film Cast award, so it's like, it looked like that was the way it was going to go. But then again, we underestimated Eddie with his win for Drama Actor at the Globes, and then he won here, and then BAFTA, and then the Oscar, so we knew it was good from there. So, yeah, that could be the case here. Or it's the case of Meryl Streep back in 2008 when she won for Doubt. And at that point, she won that award because she also, like Denzel, had not won an acting award here at SAG. I think, well, at least in the film category. I think she had won one for a miniseries, which the name of it I'm forgetting now. It's the big one that won everything the year it came out. Oh well, whatever it was called. Meryl was in it, and everybody else that was involved won, and it won all the big Globes, won all the SAGs, won all the Emmys and everything. So I think she had one for that, but she hadn't won for a film award. So Doubt, it was a strong performance. It was a showy performance where she had to do a lot of yelling and a lot of, it's that big, a flamboyant performance is what I want to say, which is what Denzel had this year. He had Casey Affleck, who was really quiet and in the back there. Ryan Gosling, who's charming as hell, but, we knew he wasn't going to win this. Andrew and Viggo were in the same case there where, and I haven't seen Viggo's movie yet, Captain Fantastic. I'm going to have to rent that one pretty quick here. But, that was a case where we just knew they didn't really have a chance of winning. So, yeah, I mean, and it was between those two, I think, definitely, Casey and Denzel. So this may be a case where they're like, you know what, Denzel might not be up for another award after this. We don't know, I mean, the guy's 62, so he's probably got another 10 or 12 films in him, but we don't know, if it's going to be another Fences or if it's going to be what was the one he just did, The Equalizer or Magnificent Seven, where it's just a kind of fun role. Maybe that's all he'll do for the rest of his career if he happens to win that third Oscar, which is maybe what they're thinking. Who knows? It could be a case where this guy doesn't have one on his shelf. Let's just give him one now while we know he's still around and he's going to be given these great performances. Yeah, and then Outstanding Cast went to Hidden Figures, and it makes sense. It's like that. I pointed out a couple of examples there. Like Birdman didn't win a single award outside of Outstanding Cast, but it had all the nominations it needed. So yeah, same goes for Spotlight last year. American Hustle. Let's see what else. Argo, which had a couple of nominations, but ended up taking that one. Plus, it was on that run for Best Picture as well. And then also, there's a couple other ones that I'm trying to think of here. Inglourious Bastards, but that did win for Christoph Waltz. Never mind, strike that one. I think actually Slumdog I think won this thing back in 2008. Let's see what else. Yeah, it did without winning any other awards there. Let's see. Well, there's probably a couple other examples. Did Crash win anything else? I don't think that one won this award. Lord of the Rings won this without winning any other awards at SAG. So yeah, there's quite a few examples here. So yeah, does this mean anything for the Best Picture race? Well, here's the thing. La La Land was not nominated here. If La La Land was nominated here and lost to Hidden Figures, then we'd say, okay, that's pretty telling. Since it is not nominated, this, and with the PGA yesterday ending up going to La La Land, it's just a bump in the road, and I think it's a way to recognize a really good movie, Hidden Figures, and it's certainly one that's at this point not looking like it's going to win any Academy Awards, but still it's nice to recognize it. And plus, again, it's got that big ensemble cast like Mahershala Ali, Kevin Costner, Kirsten Dunst, Taraji P. Henson, Janelle Monáe, Jim Parsons, Octavia Spencer, It's a great cast that you want to have on your stage, and a good cast that you want to bestow this award to. So that means what? Octavia has 3 SAGs now? Boy, she just doesn't quit. And Mahershala, won individually too, so he won 2 tonight. Who else? Maybe Kevin has one of these too, or has one already. Jim Parsons. Boy, how many SAGs does this mean he has now? I'm going to have to look this up here, because he's gotten so many of these things. Boy, he's got one here. Oh, sorry. No, I'm thinking Emmys he keeps winning. That's right. Has he ever won a SAG before this? I probably should have looked this up earlier, but too late now. I think he had one. Nope, not there. Never mind. He actually has never won before. Okay. It's the Emmys I'm thinking of. The Emmys he's won like almost every year, so since that show Big Bang Theory's been on. So that's what I was thinking of. Never mind. So yeah, now he has a Screen Actors Guild as well. Yeah, so that's a good cast. So yeah, again, that means Manchester by the Sea went 0 for 4. And I think just all those other ones took at least one, with the exception of Captain Fantastic, yeah. And Lion had a couple, lost both of them. Florence Foster had 2, lost both of them. Any others that stand out here? Nope. I think that's it. Yeah. So yeah, going forward, the only significant change here we're seeing in the Oscar race is well, there's 3 here we can count on, and that's actor, actress, and supporting actor. We knew, Viola is, her road is clear to the Oscars there. So this does mean that Mahershala, now he's got Critics' Choice and SAG behind him, even if the Globes went a different direction. But, like I said, the guy who won the Globe, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, is not in the Oscar race. He is nominated at BAFTA. I don't know. That movie's got 9 nominations. He might just pull out a win there, too. Could be. We don't know for sure where they're going to go. They might even go with somebody like Dev Patel. Actually, you know what? I think Dev, he has a really solid chance, actually, of winning over there. And that could be a case where, at the last minute, he pulls out that win at the Oscar, too. We don't know. But that this doesn't mean Mahershala has got this in the bag. Don't let if anybody else says that, then they should really take more consideration into a couple other things. But I think this significantly boosts his chances significantly. I'd say he had a 50% shot going into tonight. Now he's got a 65, maybe a 70%. I'm still going to put him ahead to win that Oscar. If he loses BAFTA, I might wuss out and put somebody else in to win. But if he wins BAFTA, we know for sure who's going to win that Oscar, and that's him. So yeah, I think this definitely helps Emma Stone. If we had any doubts about her losing to Natalie Portman, she's beat her just this once here. And Natalie couldn't even win that Globe with a really light race. True, Amy Adams was in there, and the competitor who won, Isabelle Huppert, and Isabelle is at the Oscars. So really, I mean, that's a case where, yeah, if Natalie had won tonight against Emma, that was a really good sign that, yep, she's still alive and in this race, and maybe she might even pull out that Oscar. But now I'm gonna stick with Emma from now on. BAFTA, I think they'll go for Emma there. I think they will. So boy, yeah, that means, so who do I go with now at the Oscars? Because looking at the track record here, since 2002, every actor, or sorry, yeah, 2002. I was thinking last time I said 2001. But no, it was 2002 was the last time they disagreed. They went with Daniel Day-Lewis here instead of Adrian Brody at the Oscars, and Adrian won the Oscar with nothing else. So it's been since been 2003 that they've agreed. And then, yeah, like I said, Denzel, the last time he was up here and won the Oscar, and he lost here, of course, was Training Day. That's kind of significant, I guess. So yeah, that means... since, what was that? Yeah, since 2003. So that means the last 13, or the last 12 years, I should say. Whoever has won here has won at the Oscars. And Denzel, the thing is, he's not nominated at BAFTA. But they didn't love Fences. They only gave it Viola Davis. And true, she'll probably win there, too. But there's a chance she actually loses that. I think they'll give it to her. They didn't give her anything for the help and that. So I think they'll go with Viola at BAFTA as well. So yeah, with Denzel not nominated there, that's probably a clear field for Casey Affleck. His movie got actually a lot more support over there than I thought it would. Table's shaking now. Oh boy. We don't have an earthquake here or anything, I hope. Anyway, so yeah, that's a thing, because Casey has won everywhere else. Looks like he's going to win the BAFTA now. And boy, that's a question mark. That's a big question mark now. Screw it. I'm going with Denzel. I'm going with Denzel at the Oscars. The math is just it's been a while, but I'll tell you what. Unless Casey really, because I mean, one thing I thought that has always hurt Casey is that he really shies away from the limelight. He always looks very uncomfortable up on stage, and especially after his speech tonight, Denzel's with the SAGs. I watched most of the speech. I had to. We had something else we were watching on TV, so I had to cut back and forth. So I didn't catch all the speeches tonight, but I caught most of them. His speech just showed he's comfortable up there. He's at home up there. Versus Casey, every time he's on stage, he looks like, can you play me off? He always turns this way. Can somebody play me off over there? He's just not comfortable. And not everybody is. It doesn't mean you can't be the best performer of the year. Doesn't mean you can't win the Oscar, but it's definitely something that doesn't help your PR. And true, Manchester, like I said a couple videos ago, Amazon Studios, who's one of the co-financers here and purchased it after Sundance last year, from what I've heard, they're just tunneling all sorts of money and channeling all sorts of cash flow into the Oscar race to make sure that the voters don't forget about Manchester by the Sea. So it's a case where, man, that's tough. But I'm going to go with Denzel at the Oscars until I hear significantly otherwise. If I hear from a couple of sources once the ballots start to go out and they're saying, "Oh, everybody's going for Casey," then I might change my tune. Also, something significant here, with the exception of Denzel, swap in Jake Gyllenhaal for Nocturnal Animals for him. The rest of these four are also at BAFTA. or the other three, I should say, in addition to Casey. That's Andrew Garfield, Ryan Gosling, and Viggo Mortensen. And I'll tell you what, one thing that'll definitely help Denzel at BAFTA is if Casey loses. If Casey loses to Andrew Garfield or Jake Gyllenhaal or Gosling or Mortensen, that Oscar is going to Denzel. If he can't even win, if he can't win without Denzel in the category, yeah, that's a bad sign. So yeah, but who would beat him though? I think you got to get it's got to be down to either Andrew Garfield or Ryan Gosling. I think in that field, if he loses BAFTA, and between the two, I'll tell you what, I think Andrew Garfield might actually stand a better chance. Hacksaw, I mean, it still got four. I think it was 5 nominations total, so 4 additional nominations, including Andrew there, or excluding Andrew, and bump that up. That's 5. You get what I mean. And then La La Land, yeah, it has what 9 or 11 nominations. Sorry, 11 at BAFTA. So that's one where if they want to give it anything besides Emma and director and picture in the top categories, then Ryan's a good alternative there. But I'm thinking Andrew Garfield will win there if it's not Casey. But I think Casey's the wise bet at this point. So yeah, I think that's about all I've got to say here. The thing is, yeah, with Hidden Figures, I'll tell you what, if it had pulled out a miracle last night and won PGA and won this, then I would say, yeah, look out, we've got a late hitter coming on strong here. But yeah, I think if La La Land had been nominated, it probably would have won, but we will never know for sure. And yeah, that doesn't. I'm not taking away anything from Hidden Figures. I definitely think the cast is a great ensemble. It's a great movie. For me personally, I thought Manchester by the Sea was a better movie. Arguably, Fences and Moonlight were too. I haven't seen Captain Fantastic, so I can't judge that one. But anyways, we're not talking about my favorites here. We're just talking about the stuff here. Oh, and another thing. Like I said, I didn't watch all the speeches here, but tell you what, I got bored. I got really bored listening to every goddamn person going up there and dumping on Trump. Which I know it's a hot topic. It's a hot topic right now and everything. But I just got really bored by it. I'm like sure, okay, you get to voice your opinion. I'm not taking that away from him, but I'm just saying, okay, I got it. You all hate him anyway. So I just one observation I made there was sure. I'm not going to say they can't say anything, but I just got bored right away. After I was like, I realized, oh yeah, now everybody's going to say it. Sure. And yeah, we won't get into the politics or anything, but just an observation there. If the same goes for the Oscars, I think we'll have I'll just be bored there too. But anyways, yeah, just one observation I made there. Also, it was good to see 3 out of the 4 winners here be people of color. I mean, that's that doesn't happen every day. Plus the Hidden Figures cast, has a portion of it being African American as well. So that's definitely a sign that they were very, very, very diverse this year. And the SAGs, they did give Idris Elba the award last year for Best Supporting Actor and stuff like that. So they were showing that even though the Oscars So White stuff was going on, that they still that didn't mean that they couldn't vote for who they wanted. Which in that case, I'd say Idris Elba probably gave the best performance in a supporting role of last year, definitely. But yeah, I think that's definitely going to be a big headline here. Is that 3 out of those 4 went to African Americans, which is good on them, for encouraging that because as I said last year in my whole Oscar So White thing, it's the Oscar So White thing was bullshit. It's Hollywood So White, and I think that's the proper representation this year. I mean, I counted up last year. We had 4 movies last year that were mainly led by African Americans, and that had a large colored cast, people of color cast. There was Beast of No Nation, Creed, Concussion, and whatever the 4th one was. Oh crap! What was it? Those 3, and there was one more. I'm forgetting what it is at the moment here. But there was like 4 that were made that were in the big discussions for the Oscars. It's like, how are you gonna? Yeah, I mean, you had twice as many films with all Caucasian cast or mostly Caucasian cast just in your Best Picture lineup. Talk about all the other films in addition to those that were nominated that weren't up for Best Picture but still got nominated. But this year, look at it: Fences. Moonlight, Lion has a few non-Caucasians in there. You've got Fences, I mentioned that one already. Sorry. Hidden Figures is the other. Yeah, the big one here. You also had Loving in there with a lead woman of color in there. You also had there's more, way more. Birth of a Nation was in the early discussions this year, so that's six already. And I know there's more. There's more. I'm just they're not coming to me right now. So I mean it's the case where there were just more films in production at this time, and there weren't as many in production last year. I think that's the significant problem. You know, the academy is kind of like the spinning wheel. Somebody's got to run it, and that who runs it? The film industry. If the film industry is not putting enough African American led films into production, that's the problem, the uh, not the Oscars. Somebody's got to be driving the car. It's not just the wheels that are running the thing. You get what I mean. Now that I've put that into the ground. Anyway, so now I'm going to step off my soapbox here. It's getting kind of late. So yeah, when we had quite a few things in television as well. I didn't have any official predictions for those, but it's a great night for Netflix, though. I noticed that almost all the winners, both the actors in the drama series and the outstanding ensemble went to in the drama category went to Netflix. The outstanding cast for a comedy went to Netflix and all that. So yeah, they had a great night. Yeah, so that's good on them there. I haven't seen Hidden Figure, or sorry, not Hidden Figures, Stranger Things. Why do I get those two confused? Haven't seen that yet. Haven't seen The Crown yet, but I don't get into TV much. So that's why you don't hear me, sit here and bullshit about it for 45 minutes, because I don't know the programs. At least with these, I'd seen 4 out of the 5 outstanding casts. I'd seen, all the nominees in supporting actor. I'd seen all of them in supporting actress. I'd seen most of them in lead actress and most of them in lead actor. So, had a little, stronger grounds to stand on there. Anyway, so yeah, now that I've wasted enough time, let's call this one quits, and yeah, we'll see what happens from here. But in a couple categories, we've now got some interesting developments happening.